Today, a couple of my friends and I went to the 50th State Fair, and it was pretty exciting only because I haven't been to the fair in a couple of years. When we got there, it was pretty much the same, which is why I wasn't very convinced I should go on any rides. However, there's this one ride that looked pretty exciting. I think it was called the Techno Whirl, and it was basically this ride that span like this, while it had a bunch of satellite things spinning like this, like as it went around in a circle, you know? So that looks pretty interesting because, one, it had flashing lights, two, it had like current EDM music, which is important, and three, it had like really badly painted portraits of modern DJs on it, and it didn't make any sense. It just looked really terrible. Anyway, three of us decided that we wanted to go on this ride. However, those satellite things that I was describing, they were only like 2 by 2, so one of us was going to be the third wheel, and I was going to be that person. So anyway, I ended up having to sit by myself, and then when I say by myself, there was actually like a 12-year-old girl next to me, so it wasn't really by myself. Anyway, they launch us off, and they have like the thing going down, so I'm getting ready, and the music starts like pumping, and it's like, welcome to the techno world, and it was like kind of like cheesy, but it was cool. And then we start lifting off, and as we start lifting off, I start laughing to myself because I have these really weird thoughts. So one, if I were on drugs, this would have been really cool, only because there were like flashing lights, and it was going super fast, and it was like a high, and you know, all the adrenaline, so, you know, that's just part of it. And two, it's probably good that I wasn't drinking, because I definitely would have thrown up at that point. And three, if my phone had been in my pocket, it would have at this point launched out into the crowd and probably hurt someone very badly as a projectile. So as I'm making or thinking about these things, the poor girl next to me is not making any noise. She's not screaming, she's not crying, she's not laughing, and here I am, this maniac sitting next to her, and I'm like giggling to myself as the thing goes faster and faster and faster. So it was pretty fun. Like, the ride stopped eventually, and then we had to push the thing off, and I didn't see anyone else, like, you know, get off as fast as I did, mostly because I couldn't, like, stand. My legs are kind of, like, shaky, but I made it to my friend, so that was good. And as I turned around, I saw the girl that I was sitting next to, like, crying, and her dad was comforting her, and I felt kind of bad. But, you know, as I started to take into account, like, me, and that my legs were, like, shaking, and my stomach was a little queasy, I started to realize that I'm probably too old for this shit. That's all.